Hi, I'm Dr. Jo'Anne Langham, and we'll be talking about the human-centered mindset today. When we think of designers, do we think of people like Da Vinci or Einstein? If we don't, we should. These two people are some of history's greatest designers. Design is taking a human-centered approach to solving a problem with creativity, experimentation, and knowledge. Design is above all things a way of solving problems. Design helps you solve the right problems and solve them with good solutions. However, not all design is done well. Many designs are solutions that either don't solve the original problem or create new problems. My aim is to teach you to solve your problem and not make new ones. Here are some of the common types of obvious problems created by poor design in our world. Every day we see these examples, but these are obvious and may have only minor consequences. However, some of the problems that we must try to fix and be deliberate in our approach are much bigger and more complex. Here is a picture from one of Rio de Janeiro's largest favela complexes. This is a garbage dump where children play. It is an area suffering from poverty and violence. These are the types of complex problems that we must fix with clever and deliberate processes. Some of the greatest problems in the world have been created by a lack of understanding of the problem, insufficient consideration of the consequences of the design, and focusing too narrowly on only one aspect or outcome. The creation has not been focused on a holistic approach to solving the problem, nor being human-centered. There are some core principles that underpin design thinking. We will learn how to apply these in this course. To become better at solving problems, you must do the following 4 things. First of all, know your problem. Rather than just look at what's on the surface and treat the symptoms that are obvious, you need to be able to go behind and below these issues. Ask why something is happening. Find out what is driving the problem. Number 2, understand who is impacted. There will be many ways to observe the problem. Understand the different perspectives of the people who are involved. This will give you insights that will not be apparent from your own perspective. Number 3, learn to look at the problem differently. The way that you view the world and the problem will impact how you find solutions. You must learn to remove the natural blockers and biases that you have. See problems as possibilities rather than obstacles, and recognize that what might be a problem for you may actually be an opportunity for someone else. Number 4, use your constraints. Constraints are useful tools to focus and clarify your problem and will give you direction for how to solve the problem. Do not be afraid of your constraints. Learn to use them. When using design to solve a problem, there are a couple of elements that are essential. You must have a plan with a time frame, requirements, and ensure you solve the problem. Don't make the problem or the situation worse. And also, it is a good idea to document what you have created. So what is human-centered design? Well, human-centered design is about the messiness of humans. Humans are forgetful, illogical, imperfect, and unpredictable. Human-centered design ensures the robustness of the design in spite of being human. Human-centered design, put simply, is about getting messy. And what does that mean? Well, up until Donald Norman and Jacob Nielsen started talking about usability and designing tools for users, people used to design systems for the perfect user. The perfect user knew what every term meant, read every instruction, and remembered everything that they were told. Things were designed for people as if people were machines, that they behaved consistently and got everything right. The underlying premise of human-centered design is exactly the opposite. Humans are messy. People will make mistakes, they will get it wrong, and they won't always be performing at their best. Things go wrong in life. Life happens. Power goes off in the middle of saving a file. Little Johnny will spill his red cordial on your document that contains the information that you need for this morning's meeting. You will forget your password. It may seem like designing for this is impossible, but it isn't. Human-centered design is about being realistic with your design. It is not about perfection. Instead, it is about the opposite. Building in fail-safes and putting enough virtual padding on your design so that the users can't hurt themselves. Think of human-centered design as the bumpers they put on bowling ball alleys for kids. Those guides are there to keep the ball on track. It doesn't mean that they will always have a strike, but it does mean that the ball will go in the right direction and hopefully knock down some of the pins. So that's the first step. We are plunging into a world of information, switching off our quick thinking and examining ideas. Sounds like a lot of work. Well, there is a bit of work. However, most of what we do makes sense and comes quite naturally when you've learned how to do it. Most of the techniques and methods actually help us think clearly, logically, and make us see patterns and solutions that we wouldn't first think of. One of the most important aspects that designers understand is that we design things, products, processes, or systems for humans, experiences. It's obvious, really. Humans are not robots. We don't think and behave the same, although we can be remarkably alike in some aspects, but wildly different in others. We must acknowledge the ambiguity or the messiness of the real world in our work. We must design with humans at the center of our thinking and understand that there are many challenges that this brings to the solution. Humans are inherently flawed. We get tired, we forget things, we are lazy, and we make poor decisions based on limited knowledge. We must ensure that our ideas can be challenged by these inadequacies and still succeed. It is important to understand what human-centered design is also not about. It is not design that users do. It is not about testing. It is not about opinions, and it is not design by focus group.